Matchmaking, not a common word in Sweden, but we Indians love it. It is nothing but the process of connecting two different individuals to form a relationship, aka dating. For any successful relationship, good communication is very important. And this also applies to a special relationship existing in the forest. So when you walk through the beautiful Swedish forest, popularly known as boreal forest, you may accidentally step on these tiny little feather mosses growing on the forest floor. These feather mosses, when they need nitrogen for their growth, they form a relationship with cyanobacteria present in the soil. Why? Because the cyanobacteria have the ability to fix nitrogen from the atmosphere. But since both these organisms can't sing or dance or flirt, they communicate by exchanging chemical signals called metabolites. I've been studying both these organisms for the past 3 years, and trust me, identifying these flirt signals is as difficult as finding a perfect partner. Now let me explain you why. When the feather moss needs nitrogen, it releases hundreds of metabolites, of which one instructs the cyanobacteria to change from its normal vegetative state into small structures called homogonium that have the potential to move. Then the feather moss releases another hundreds of metabolites, of which one acts as the guide for the homogonium to move towards the feather moss and colonize its surface. After successful colonization, the feather moss releases another hundreds of metabolites, of which one instructs the cyanobacteria to change again into another special structure called the heterosis. And these are the actual structures that can fix atmospheric nitrogen. And finally, the feather moss releases another, of which commands the cyanobacteria to start converting the atmospheric nitrogen into ammonia. And this is how both these organisms communicate with each other to establish a relationship. Now we may all wonder, what is wrong with this guy? Why is he so obsessed in knowing about feather moss, their flirting skills, and the cyanobacteria? Why? Well, the simplest answer I can give you is that ammonia is nothing but a fertilizer. So the big story behind this research is that, unfortunately, the beautiful Swedish forests are nitrogen limited, and nitrogen is important for plant growth. So to increase the forest productivity, we, the smart humans, have been using chemical fertilizers in spite of knowing that it will pollute our environment. And on top of that, the production and use of these fertilizers emits greenhouse gases, leading to a much bigger problem called climate change. Not good. Now let's imagine this scenario where I've identified these flirt signals. We can use them to enrich the cyanobacterial population within the forest. And this can lead to increased nitrogen influx as well as increased feather moss growth. And the feather mosses, of course, they'll die and decompose. During that time, they'll release all its nutrients, including nitrogen, back to the forest. So we have the potential of converting our nitrogen limited forest into a nitrogen sufficient state in a sustainable manner. Therefore, feather moss, cyanobacteria, both are important. But what is more important is them being in a relationship with each other and identifying those signals which makes this possible. And that's why this scientific matchmaker, a true prodigy of Indian matchmaking, is emphasizing that MIB, not the Men in Black, but matchmaking in boreal forests is absolutely necessary. Thank you.